Okay, so we are good to go. Hopefully this doesn't pick up too weird on me. Well, we'll see. Time will tell. Why am I getting such strong buzzing out of this thing as well? I don't like that. We may have to put that to no notifications, which I think will be the case. Because, yeah, that buzzing is getting a little strong. Or certainly sounds like it from my side, but it might not be, who knows. Either way, we got another 3-hour journey ahead of us, and it's a pretty sunny day. Hey Faye, how you doing? We are indeed in my car. I don't need to make the brum brum noises, the engine's doing that for me. So that's grand. How are you, Faye? How's your day going? Jesus, some people and indicators just don't exist, and I don't get what it is. Wherever about you're going straight through a roundabout and you don't indicate, that's fine. But like, you're taking a turn. Fucking tell people you're taking a turn. Oh, well, it seems like cut my hand. It's like, where's that part of my knuckle hurting? Basically, the back of my knuckle on my palm. I somehow managed to slice. Oh well. Not too bad. Good to hear it. People say same with Trey there going. It seems like that is the case, alright. And yeah, I'm not too bad. Busy day at work this morning, but half day today, so which is all good. I managed to take a half day because I knew I was heading to Mayo, and I'd have much rather do it now than start making the drive at 5:30 this evening. Would have been pretty tiring. So I asked if I could take a half day to do this journey, and there was no issue, which is a win-win. I'm now starting to go, do I have everything? Do I have my work laptop and the cable and the USB? Even though I know I put them all in because I remember putting them in. Hey Tanagarian, how you doing, dude? Thank you very much. I will indeed have a nice trip. It's a lovely day. So the weather's on my side in terms of not having any obstacles. You're off to Egypt. Nice. Fucking that's fantastic. You've left now too late. Well, not really, Faye. I'm only like 10 minutes away from my house, so I could just drive back if I had forgotten anything, but I know I haven't. I've done the full check. I have everything for work. I have my Kindle in case I want it. I have my Steam Deck in case I want it or have time to use it at any stage. I might not have time, but we'll see. So I have everything I need for work. That's the main thing. And I have clothes and shit. So, you know, all that stuff. We're good. Worst case scenario, I have my wallet so I can buy other shit if I need it. How long are you going to Egypt for, Tanagarian? Assassin's Creed. Oh, Assassin's Creed style. Right, so you're playing Assassin's Creed or you're actually going on a trip? Right, so yeah, so you're playing Assassin's Creed then. Just a game, yeah. You had me there for a minute. It's like, oh shit, going away, nice trip, excellent. But hey, nothing wrong with just the game. Especially considering, I mean, those kind of games, they use the real life architecture to a degree. Well, not for ancient Egypt, really. But there's like the likes of some of the GTA games, people know their way around the cities when they go into those cities because they play GTA enough. Next trip will be to Switzerland or Luxembourg to visit friends. Nice. Hey, Nickfist. Are you jamming away? How are you doing, dude? Assassin's Creed for you is more the story and historical connections, yeah. This one's kind of meh. I know Kill was playing Assassin's Creed a bit. I've never really been massively into the Assassin's Creed games. Not that I'm against them or anything, but I just never really got into them a lot. But I have heard the Valhalla one is pretty good, but I've also heard it's kind of shit. So it's weird. I know Kill told me he really enjoyed it and it was fun. And that's what I'll take. Jamming to me streaming. I'm glad to hear it. Hey Magoo, good afternoon, how are you? Well, if you're not into them, of course you're against them, right? It's not like I'm not into them, Tanagarian. I just never really got massively into them to play a lot of them. I played a couple of them, and then it was just fell off a bit, I guess. Busy roundabout. Make sure we get out of this, because this is what's this dickhead doing? Other than being a dickhead, I'm pulling into my side. Glad to see it. You love to see it. You can see me shaking your head at you, that just from here. Why would I be shaking my head at you? Because your little pet names and stuff. I mean, you call yourself whatever you want to call yourself. But yeah, some of those terms. Head shake. Oh, it's not answering your question, Miguel. I'm alright. Busy morning and a 3-hour drive ahead of me, so you know. And probably a lot of busy times. There's a lot of shit to get done. Going over to help the lads do some stuff. Hey Esther, how are you? How's your day? Well, your morning, I guess it's fucking early for you. Lurking in Egypt, exploring the sand dunes. Have a good time, Donagarian. Oh yeah, of course, always fun. No, I've no time off work. I'll be working from there. I got a half day today to travel over, and then just while I'm here, it'll be like doing some stuff in the evenings and shit to help out with a few things for the lads. So then we'll see what happens. There's no it's kind of when it's done, and then I'll go back home. That could be a few days, that could be next week. You're out and about, Faye? You're off doing something fun? If your theme Snapcam would pick up the cars instead of faces. If your name Snapcam, it would do nothing. It would spend the channel points and that's it. Have Frosty the Snowman drive by. Yeah, all the redeems and notifications and all that don't work on mobile, so as fun as that would be to see something like that happen, it would not happen, unfortunately. Because that is all on my PC, none of it is on my phone. I wonder if you could set that kind of shit up on a phone though. It'd be funny. Well, Snapcam certainly wouldn't work anyway, because that doesn't exist anymore. It's discontinued. I had to do a patch thing on it to get it to work on the PC and download the file from a mirror link, but we got it. How are you, Chelsea? Nobody redeemed death. I mean, you want to see me kill myself, go for it. We can do that. Be a lot of fun for driving entertainment. Yeah, for fucking thing. No, that was a joke. Yes, I know it was McCool. As was me saying you want to see me kill myself. I'm not gonna do it. It's not gonna be like, oh, somebody redeemed death. Guess I'm driving into this wall now. Although... no, we love you too much for doing that. I don't know about that now, Faye. Jesus Christ, there. Go on, go in there. I'm going over here. Don't let the intrusive thoughts win. Yeah, right. Like, I mean, I think there's something, well, maybe. I don't think it's something wrong as such, but I'd be surprised if nobody has ever had that thought of, I could just swerve and hit that wall right now. Or if I'd done this, I could just fucking do, you know, those thoughts come in, but you don't act on them. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if I'm up somewhere high, it's always, geez, I could just step off this and I'd be dead. You know, that kind of stuff. Where it's like, yeah, if I'd done this, this would happen. You could easily just kill that person, actually. Yeah, I could drive over them now. Wonder how hard, how easy it'd be to snap that person's leg. That kind of shit comes into your head, but obviously you're not an absolute maniac. You don't do shit like that. Hey, Jordy, how you doing? You react, you act on yours, Esther, what? You have that thought, you know, you drive, yeah. What intrusive thoughts did you act on today, Esther? Yeah, exactly. Games are for letting those kind of things out. You just do all that crazy shit in games, and then you go, oh yeah, this is not for real life. Do I kill this cat? Yeah, sure. You crashed a few cops this morning. What do you mean you crashed a few cops, Esther? What does that mean? You're on the run from the popo right now. They're looking for you. Right, so then you didn't do anything and you're just saying shit. Gotcha. What the fuck is Esther talk? Yeah, exactly. She's talking absolute bollocks from what I can see. I think sleep deprivation is kicked in, or she's playing GTA and has not realised that it's not real life because she's too fucking tired. Or is high, yes. She's RPing GTA, exactly. Estes forgot the difference between that inner thought and the outer thought. The outer thoughts are coming in. Or the inner thoughts are coming out, should I say. I find it fascinating, just on that topic, I find it fascinating to think that there are people out there, I don't know your crimes IRL yet, because they don't exist, that's fine. But there are people out there that don't have an inner monologue. That when they think in pictures, not in words. They don't hear a voice in their head as they're thinking. That blows my mind. When I remember learning that and going, wait, what the fuck? You don't hear a voice in your head when you're thinking. You see images and shit. That is insane. So like when you're reading, you don't read in your head. You just look at the page and know the words. It's kind of crazy. Must be nice and quiet. Yeah, well that's the thing, you're not going to be over... I don't know, I'd imagine overthinking would happen with people like that as well, but rather than that voice, you just see lots of images constantly. What if you don't have words or images? You're confused. No, I'm talking about Esther. You know how most people have that inner monologue as you're thinking about stuff? It's essentially your own voice talking in your head. Well, there are people out there who do not have that. They hear no voice. There is no voice in their head as they're talking or thinking. They see images and picture stuff. That's how they process information. So like if they're reading a book, they don't read to themselves. They just look at a page and see the image and recognize what that word means. There's no inner monologue reading those lines to themselves. That kind of shit blows my mind. I'm like, wow, man, that must be a weird... Although it's not going to be a weird experience for them, obviously, because that's all they've ever known, but it's crazy to think, like... Yeah, it's just weird. I don't know. I wonder how they take that in. The people not picture it. Like, the people not picture it all in their head. I mean... I wouldn't have vivid images of things in my head. I could certainly picture things in my head. Oh, the book story. Yeah, I get you. But I'm guessing they just have vivid images, maybe. I don't know. I don't personally know anybody who has that situation going on, but I just know they exist. I saw a video of a cat driving a self-driving Tesla. Then the cat wasn't driving it, as the car was driving it. The cat was in a self-driving Tesla. Some people that don't have pictures, what's happening in your brain when reading. Oh, right. You see a movie in your head when you read. So do you not read to yourself as in your own voice speaking, and yeah, maybe picturing it as well? Well, like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with imagining the situation, but you speak to yourself in your head as you're reading, right? You can hear the voices of the other people. Wait, hold on. I feel like their accents do. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, but if you're reading your voices of the characters in the book, not your own voice. Yeah, I mean, I can see that sometimes. I wouldn't say I'd always have the voices of a character from a book. Sometimes it's just me reading it. But yeah, occasionally if I have a notion, or they've inclined to put it, like what they sound like, then yeah, that might go into my head, and it would be read with their voice in mind. There's nothing wrong with this conversation, Miguel. Fuck off, right? It's an interesting conversation to see how people process information internally. But yeah, it is also weird, I know. Everyone has their own voices for you. Alright. Oh no, I know, Miguel, I'm just taking the piss. You also read how you imagine their voices to be. Yeah, sometimes I have that, but only if there's been any kind of inclination as to what their voice sounds like. Otherwise, if there hasn't, I don't think I... See, it's weird, because now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, do I, don't I? But I don't think I give them a voice if it hasn't specified a voice. If you get me. Like, if it doesn't say they sound like A, B, or C, or have this kind of accent, I think I just read it to myself as myself. Usually think of voices from movies and use that as narration in your head. Yeah, I guess that can happen as well sometimes. That's very true as well, Miguel. I might do it without knowing. It's highly possible, highly probable, let's face it, that I do it and don't consciously think about it, because I'm just reading. So it's just like there. Because I guess if I'm messaging any of you, and I know, obviously I know your voices, so if I'm reading something internally, I'd probably hear one of you saying it in my head, rather than, yeah. No, I definitely would, because there's also times if I read something and it's something somebody says in a particular funny way or has a particular way of saying something, I always hear it the way they say it. So I hear it as they say it in their voice. You like to imagine Geralt's voice for manly male characters. So is that the Henry Cavill version of it or the game version of it? So do you just hear Henry Cavill the whole time going? You probably can't even hear me doing that now. Just lots of grunting. Henry Cavill version. You've never played the games, right? So any manly voice to you is Henry Cavill as Geralt. Interesting. Oh yeah, grand. How fucking ridiculous that was. Anyway. I don't know, I find this kind of shit interesting in how people process information. Clip. Clip away, it's fine. Because you always, it's one of these things that, like, unless you talk about it, you just assume people process information the same way you do. Because why wouldn't everybody kind of think things the same way? And then even at that, because it's such an unconscious thing, I have to actually actively think about, well shit, if I'm reading something, do I make voices? Is it me? Is it the character? Because I know if like reading anything here on chat, for example, I know I'm reading it out loud, but I would internally hear your voices saying it because I know what you all sound like. So that's kind of an automatic situation for me, really. We have a beep warning coming as well. We're hitting the toll, so it hasn't been too loud the last few times, I don't think, so it should be, yeah, there we go. And if I talk over it, maybe it's even less. But that was the beep. Turn it up. Turn what, the beep up. You want to hear a beep more? Well, you can't, because that was the only toll I go through. Live on the edge. The thing with the beep comes from the toll tag, which is above my phone. I think it's the older phone used to pick up the beeps louder. I think this one has better noise suppression for background noise, so it's not as loud. I don't know, I could also be absolutely talking out my arse. That is a high possibility. We come up to our first hillside monument with the circle, with the centre removed. Enjoy. That's in 2 minutes. We're not at the fiddle yet. The fiddle will be a while. It's a giant fiddle in the side of the hill. This is missing centre of circle, and the centre of the circle is on the right hand side of the road. There you go. The what? What do you mean the what? Giant fiddle. It's a nice big field where large groups of people get together. No, but it is a giant fiddle in the side of the hill. As for how long am I away for, I don't know, is the honest answer to that, Chelsea. Until I'm no longer needed. So I have no, this is one of the few times I don't have an definitive date. It's more so I'm going over, and then when everything that needs to be done is done and I don't need the help anymore, then I'll go back home. what do you think they're talking about when they're saying a dilly eye? That's just, people think it's all some Irish nonsense. When you're talking about some dilly eye shit, that's just a group of farmers in a field wanking each other off. Not really. That's a fiddly diddly. Or that's fiddling while they're diddling. Then there's a few musicians present to watch it all. That's how crop circles are really made, yeah. Just a big orgy in a field where everybody takes turns with everybody else. Everybody's fiddling and diddling. And when they're all done, it just causes a big crop circle. And then they go, shit, we can't let our families find out. We were all abducted and they anally probed us. Yeah, it was the aliens that did all those things. We didn't do them to each other. And they all stuck to that story, and that's how crop circles and aliens exist. Now you know the secret. I mean, let's face it, it's as plausible as the rest, right? What's more plausible? Aliens came down, abducted people, and anally probed them, or those people all decided to roll around in a field and fuck the shit out of each other, and then felt a bit weird about taking it in the ass afterwards, and then just decided to blame it on aliens and say they did it. You know? Anyway, fucking hell, what a lovely topic for 2 p.m. on a Wednesday. Fucking why not, you know? It is Wednesday, yeah, it is. Fucking hell. Gotta get through the farming day somehow. Exactly. I mean, you're already filthy, what's getting a little dirtier? Whatever floats your boat. Just that Catholic guilt kicked in, I guess. That's how aliens were born. Everyone up to with their day now? I know you're getting you some lunch after some Red Dead, some Howdy, and some pokering, and some more diddly ordering. Anybody got anything on their game list for later? Work. I mean, Magoo, you gotta work sometimes. You can't just game all the time, Jordan. Work. Slacker. Gotta get some lunch in, can't be asked to make it. Look, sometimes you just gotta treat yourself, right? Why? I mean, because you need money to buy all the shit that you need to survive and want, and to pay for that house and stuff. But yeah, that would be ideal. Shit, you're right, be right back. Gonna grab something. Enjoy, Chelsea. There's an argument for fucking some kind of social, livable, automatic wage, not like benefits. I know it is being trialed in some places in the world where they basically, everybody in a specific town gets like 30 grand a year for nothing, as they don't have to work, they don't have to do anything. It's like, right, here's 30 grand, what do you want to do? And it's causing people to be a lot more creative and pursue stuff that gives them a happier life, even more creative outlet. They can go do or pursue those things that they would like to without the worry of, well, I can't afford to do X, Y, Z. And if all they want to do is work, well, then they just boosted their income by 30 grand anyway. I can't remember where it's happening, but I know there is some kind of trial, because the whole idea being, well, a lot of people obviously end up working jobs they don't like, are unhappy and unfulfilled in life because, well, they just gotta pay the bills, so they gotta take whatever they can. And it's kind of like, well, if you take away you gotta pay the bills because you got this basic income just for existing, then what would you like to do? What would you be seeking? And the whole idea behind it is, well, how many people out there that could better humanity are not doing it because they get stuck in this kind of situation? And be that better through art, through some creative process, through fucking innovation, who knows? But you're basically cut free to go, right, well, seek what you want to seek. And that is a thing that will definitely lead to people coming up with some kind of innovations. Now, there are people who'd be like, well, fuck that, I'm just going to play games all day. And there's merits in that as well, I guess. You're just living a happy life, you're a happier person. A happier person's going to also lead to a happier society because you're not having negative interactions with others. I can see it working well. I'd be very interested. I'll actually have to look it up. I know it is being trialled somewhere, but I can't remember where it is. And I'd love to see if there's any preliminary results from it. There's no way you can't have a massively positive impact. Practice, it could be, well, this is a load of bollocks, it doesn't work. But it's certainly going to yield some interesting information. Imagine that being, you know, you just happen to live in the right place and suddenly they're like, hey, we're going to try this thing out where for the next X amount of years you're getting X amount of money on us. So if you don't like your job, quit. And if you always wanted to do something else, off you fucking go do it. It is a weird thing. Like, I know a few artist friends who are hugely against the whole idea of AI art and stuff like that. And I'm not against it. I think I see the merits of it, and it allows those who don't have an artistic flair to develop an artistic flair through coding or through prompting. So it helps those who can't be able to do some interesting shit. But I do agree that AI and robotics, the whole idea behind that shit should be to allow people to do the creative shit. And I can understand that, Chelsea. I can absolutely understand why you're anti-AI art. I just think of like Kuro Data and some of the stuff that he has produced from it is incredible. And I'm like I've very, very, very briefly dabbled with it. Just have a look. I was able to get some interesting stuff. And yeah, it wasn't, I've never been able to do that. Speaking of, did you teach yourself coding fairly recently? Did you say it was during lockdown? Yes and no, if you're talking to me. I don't know, unless you're talking to Chelsea. I've done a course part of that was during lockdown. It just so happened at the time, like I'd already knew some coding, but I took a course to refresh and learn different languages, which the second semester of that course, I started it in 2019, and then in 2020 obviously lockdowns hit and I had to do remotely. Java, but I already knew Java. Picked up JavaScript on the course to a degree. I picked up React.js, some Node, some SQL variations. I knew MySQL, but I got a different version of SQL that I picked up during it. What else did I cover? Quite a few. Yeah. The thing is with coding and coding languages, once you have the basics of one coding language down and you know it well enough and you are fairly sufficient in that you get the basic concept, you get some of the advanced concepts, you can develop a program in that language. Learning other coding languages then becomes pretty easy, or not necessarily easy, but certainly easier, because a lot of them base themselves around similar ideas and methodologies, and so there's a lot that they will share. And what you would find is, even if you don't know a language, you could look at the code and get a grasp of what it's doing, because you know general syntax and structure of how function calls are made and classes are enabled and all that kind of thing. So if it's object orientated or if it's not, you know, like if you've done object orientated programming and you've done non-object orientated programming, you'll know what way things are activated, what way functions are called, what way classes are initiated. All this kind of shit becomes somewhat familiar. So you could look at other languages and go, oh right, that's calling that. Oh yeah, that's doing, oh, so that's how you do it in this language. So it becomes easier to learn. So the thing for me, when I started my job, which was like 2 years ago, this job I'm in now, I knew very little JavaScript. I'd only done it on project level, so my course was entirely in Java. So I knew basics of JavaScript. I knew enough that I could get a project done. I knew enough that it wasn't completely alien to me, but I never coded in the version of JavaScript that we use in the company, which is AngularJS. I'd never used Angular, and I'd not really coded much in Node, and I'd not really done much in Loopback, or I'd not done anything in Mongo. So there's loads of database languages and back-end and front-end stuff that I'd not coded in, but I just learned it on the job because I had the basics down to a degree, or recognizable enough that it didn't take a fuck ton of time to pick it up. And then of course the longer you're working on it, the more you're going to pick it up, or the more the basics become basic. Ooh, Javier. Yes, exactly, Javier. Javier helped. Had I any jobs before where I was coding? No. This is my first coding job. I'd covered it in college courses, and I'd done it. I'd like looked at code and shit for fun at different times. Not really for fun. Like, I don't do personal projects outside of work. I know a lot of coders do and a lot of developers do. I don't really, because it feels like work, and when I'm not off work, I just want to relax and chill and enjoy my time. Play some games, watch some movies, do whatever the fuck I want to do. Sometimes if something piques my interest, I will look at it from a coding point of view, but not always. So like when Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the game, came out, there was a concept of doing like a randomizer, a random picker, kind of the way DVD has. And I know a streamer who had a very detailed and very impressive one developed. He spent quite a substantial amount of money to do it, but he had one developed for him by a guy who does a lot of his other stuff, and it was impressive as fuck. And that basically then led me to go, I wonder if I could make something like this. Not like graphically, he had some really incredible art and stuff done for his. I can't draw for shit, so I couldn't do anything like that. But I was like, well, I wonder if I could get the basic concepts of it, which I knew I could. But then I also thought, you know, it'd be funny with how everybody is always like, oh, ChatGPT is great, ChatGPT is great, and I believe absolutely differently. It's great for certain things, it's great for basic shit, but if you have any kind of complex stuff to do in it, it's 9 times out of 10 garbage. But it's good for ideas, it's good for concepts to a degree. So I gave myself a little pet project then of, well, I wonder if I could develop a random perk roll program for Texas Chainsaw Massacre using only ChatGPT and only allowing myself to modify minimal amount of code. So I had to use most of the code it would do, and if it got to a point where I was getting circular answers, which is quite frequent, you will get it, I would allow myself to modify bits of the code to pull it out of that circular answer. And I did that for a week or so, just fucking around, an hour here or there, and I got one that I could use, but I never used it because it just wasn't arsed using it. But I did get a functional thing that would roll on family or victims. It would roll all the perks available. It would then roll a family or victim to pick, and it would roll all their available perks. I did get something like that working, and I was messing about with the idea of making a Twitch bot that would put it into Twitch chat, but I kind of stopped working on that side of things a bit. That's a little more complex, but it's definitely doable. But yeah, that's probably the only project. Am I gonna bust out that bad boy? No, I probably not, Chelsea. It'll probably never see the light of day, in fairness. I just done it to see if I could, and also to see just how badly limited ChatGPT is, and it is very much so. So, like, for example, I would ask it to do a certain thing. So I won't get into the coding terms too much because I don't think there's a point to do it, and I'd just be boring people to fucking death. But I would give it a certain prompt. Do XYZ for this function and make a pick between this group. And then it would do that thing, but it would pick from all of the groups, not from a specific group. So I would say, no, you're almost there, it's not quite this, it needs to pick between that. And then it would be, oh yeah, okay, I see that, I see where I made the mistake, try this. And it would feed me back the exact same piece of code. And I would say, no, you're not doing it this way, it's this, modify that. Oh yeah, I see what you're talking about, that's a mistake. And then it would feed me back slightly modified code that would do the exact same thing and didn't fix the problem. So there's stuff like that that I just kind of found somewhat interesting. And of course I ended up having to fix, because it's like, well, either I'm going to fix it or it's not going to get fixed. So I would modify it, give it the example back to go, this is how it should be done, now do it with this thing. And just kind of fucked around with it a little bit. It was fun for a little bit, and then, but I did have a thing where it would roll icons They didn't roll the way I wanted them to roll, but you know, it is what it is. It would scroll through perks and stuff like that as well, and it would pick perks out and it would give me a list of them and stuff. So it was functional to where I could have used it. It was not pretty to look at, but I don't think I ever aimed to use it, to be honest. I just kind of wanted to test, could I? And certainly if I was going to do it again, or if I was going to improve on it or actually make it usable, I would have to develop a proper GUI for it and not have because I was running it through a browser, through a local host on my machine. So I was running it through a browser source, so it'd be a web application basically is what I was doing, not a self-contained application. Fair enough to set a project up for yourself. Yeah, well, it was just out of cut-I kind of thing. But you know, McGill, are you thinking about? Sorry, all of that set me off on a fucking path that was completely down. All that was asked was, did I do this during lockdown and did I learn languages and how many? And I went off on a fucking massive tangent, as I seem to do. Are you asking because you're thinking about learning coding languages? Are you considering picking up some coding, or I know you do some HTML and CSS, I think, if I remember correctly. Sometimes, occasionally. You want to learn for work. Do you know what coding languages they develop in work? I mean, it's all web-based, so the likelihood is it's going to be JavaScript. Or being given a role that's more code-heavy. You get confused with it. Alright, did code in the HTML. Definitely a few resources online that you could tap into for that kind of stuff. W3 bugger embedded in the that will look like we're live and long. Yeah, you were into the shit part. Yeah, I'm starting to lose signal, so unfortunately, hold that thought. Almost back. No, it's getting worse. It will come back, but it's gonna get worse first. Now it's starting to get better. So I'll reiterate, because I'm guessing you probably didn't hear. Oh no, it's getting worse again. Every time I say that, it's like, well, fuck you. You think it's getting better? Now it's not. Go fuck yourself. Goddamn internet gods. Anyway, if you hear, you hear. Are you coding purely in like pure HTML and pure CSS? Or is there particularly stuck with anything? Feel free to screen share it or send me a screenshot and I'll have a look over it. Need it at this stage, but that means you'll need it later. I don't know. Yeah, the likelihood is you will need it later. Certainly JavaScript. Yeah, I know. Signal is terrible right now. My signal is down to, I should be getting nearly 6,000 kilobytes. I'm getting 1,000 right now. That was at 200 for a minute. So we are getting better now, to a degree. But it's up and down. I don't know what the fuck is going on with the signal at the moment. So yeah, it's not normally this bad for this long. That was Roscommon, I think, was the last time that happened, and it wasn't too bad, too much after, but I'm guessing Pure at the moment, and you will probably go embedded JavaScript, or you will do PHP. PHP, I have I've learned myself. I've dabbled in bits before, and I know how it works, but I have a shit ton of guides I could share with you for PHP if you wanted when you get there, because I bought a book series of PHP, like learning through making sites, learning through making games, gamifying coding, all this kind of stuff. I have a large series of PHP ebooks I can share on that kind of stuff when it comes to that point. Hey Snowy, how you doing? At your last in-person company meeting, you were talking about wanting people, put people in jobs with the right skills, or help improve any skills. Ah, right. It's got you thinking about maybe learning more code stuff. Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely worth doing. Thank you. W3 Schools is a great place to start to get a basis. I think it's w3schools.org maybe, but if you just Google W3 Schools, it has all the basics of HTML and CSS that it can go through tutorials with you for. Think y'all took my bad weather? Yeah, probably. It's absolutely good to have on a CV as well, 100%. And the thing is, there's a lot of courses and a lot of stuff you can get that will... W3 Schools, yes, that's it. There's a lot of online resources that will also gamify quite a bit of this stuff as well. So like you can learn Java. I think there's even one for JavaScript. There's a version of Minecraft that will teach you how to code, because it gets you coding stuff in it. So there's a way of gamifying some of it as well. But W3 Schools is great to start because they have embedded code editors in their website. So it'll teach you how to do a div in HTML or something, or it could teach you how to set up a header and a footer with a body and all that kind of shit. But on the left side you'll be coding, on the right side you will see the results of what you are doing. So you get to see in real time any changes you're making, and also it helps to troubleshoot any potential mistakes you're making. They also have code examples where they will show you, this is how you create this is how you do that, now try it for yourself, try modifying this. They'll go through input boxes and how you deal with the inputs to either modify that input to give a different output, or how you store data and read data. There's lots of stuff like that on W3 Schools that you can do, and they do them in short, quick bites as well. So it's not stuff you have to spend hours doing. You can get basic bits, start at a tutorial, finish there, try it out. So it is very basic, but it's very, very good. And they don't just do HTML and CSS, they do a lot of other languages as well. And there are a ton of resources out there for all that kind of stuff. But that was what I won't overload with, here's, go to that site, go to this site, go to the other. I would start there. That is a perfect starting block for somebody who has never seen code or looked at HTML or CSS. They will get you the basics, absolutely. And then sure, once you have the basics, just filling about with it will help you get further. And then stuff, the other thing is, for something like this, pure basic HTML and CSS, something like ChatGPT, as much as I talk about how it can't do complex shit, it will help you a lot to figure out problems with basic stuff like HTML and CSS. So if you aren't getting your head around a particular piece of code, you could basically copy that code, bang it into ChatGPT and ask it to explain what this does. It will then give you a line-by-line breakdown of what everything is doing and why. And if it doesn't say why, you can ask it why, and it will explain it to you properly. And for HTML, it will have a massive database to pull from for data, because it's I mean, HTML is as old as the internet. It has changed in many ways, but it's not super complex that it can't tell you a lot of that shit. So those two combined should get you to a point where you could basically bang together your own website and style it real nicely and learning out. One thing I will say, most people who code hate CSS. So you're probably starting from a good ground point to go HTML, CSS first. And the fact that you have it this now, don't let that put you off. But that's purely because a lot of devs don't come from a design point of view. But you have an eye for design. You've done a lot of stuff with Canva and shit like that to set things up in right places, and with photography and all that, you'll have an eye for design and development stuff like that as well. So you will be in a good position for this kind of shit. I think it's something you will certainly get frustrated with, but something I think you will enjoy. It is, even like, I'm not a big fan of CSS, but it is very satisfying if you have to make CSS files to deal with the bullshit and then see, fuck, there we go, that's how it is, and now you got this really pretty looking, nicely laid out page or box or segment or whatever the fuck you're making. And I think that's what drives most people who code. It's those moments, certainly for me, what I enjoy most about coding, because like, I look at my job as I'm solving puzzles in code. That's how I always approach it, and it is fucking extremely frustrating at times when you can't figure out how to get shit to work. But when you finally have that aha moment and you see the functional thing, there's a huge amount of satisfaction from that as well. This village looks cute, nice little pub. Yeah, there's lots of villages like that. So that's, I can't even remember where I am, so I can't tell the name. But yeah, that's basically tons of Irish country villages are like that. Just small areas, one or two pubs, maybe a shop. Pub might be the shop as well. There's some places where the pub would also be a hardware store. Like I know of a pub that is also a hardware store and has a secondary room, which is also a funeral home. Which makes sense considering, like, people go to the funeral home and they go to the pub after, so it's all in one building. Glad you had a few times with your work already. Rewarding when you solve an issue yourself. Yeah, absolutely. You've also broken a few websites. Yeah, but the thing with that, especially, it depends on how your company works. But most companies who use code will use some kind of Git repository or something like that, so that if you make modifications and then launch them and it breaks something, you can roll back that modification. So as long as you have some kind of source control where you can go back to what you had previously, and if not, then I would say start using some kind of source control. It doesn't necessarily even have to be an online one, but just yourself saving various versions. So before you make any major changes, save a version of the file as the .old and then make the changes, and then if those changes fuck something up, well, you can revert to the .old version. You know, shit like that's handy to do for backing up if you don't have any kind of online version control. It's not a square. Yep, that near you too. You live and a pub often has the weights. Yeah, exactly. Makes sense. Like, I know in parts of the country you can get a gun. Guns aren't legal in a sense here, but they are in another sense. Like, you can get a license for hunting, so you can have a rifle for hunting and shit like that, and you can get a license for a shotgun if you own a particularly large piece of land, or you're a farmer in rural Ireland where there's no help anywhere in sight and you got to protect your land, kind of shit. You can get license for stuff like that in certain circumstances, and 9 times out of 10 it's the like fishing shops that do it. So like places where you'd go to buy your fishing gear and tackle and rods or like some hardware shit, they'll also be the gunsmiths, where it's like, well, yeah, you want to go, oh, that's, yeah, you go to the, well, that's the place for hunting essentially. If you want to hunt deer or you want to go fishing, you buy all your shit there. Your father-in-law has a shotgun license to go shooting for farmers. Yeah, there you go. Well, it's like Kill has had a shotgun license since he was, I think, 16 or something like that. He's had a gun license. Occasionally, or once a year, they'd have it. So he's had a license for fucking ever. Pretty nice. But yeah, because like he will be out there as well, so you know, you gotta have something in case you need it. Right, where the fuck are we? Ah, right, I know where we are. Grand. I've been waffling so much I haven't even been paying attention. I've just been like, yeah, just drive. Just keep going straight. Obviously I've been paying attention to where I'm going, but you know, I'm not looking at where I am, I'm just looking at the road in front of me kind of thing. I'm not really kind of caring about where I am, more so pay attention to that car in front of me or the track beside me, and that's it. I don't need to. All I know, I'm driving this road for basically fucking another 2 hours. With maybe. But if you start learning W3 skills, Magoo, or if you have been given, feel free to share it and I'll explain it to you if you need it. If you need the help with it and the sites aren't clear or anything isn't clicking, feel free to ask anytime. But I'd say it will definitely get to the point where, like, the fact that that guy said to you, you don't need to know any JavaScript or PHP yet, means you probably do use some form of embedded JavaScript, or at least basic scripting within JavaScript. And I mean embedded JavaScript and HTML, I deal with that shit every day. I code in a JavaScript. No, I don't do raw JavaScript often. There's just some extra functionality and extra ways you can embed stuff into HTML and deal with function calls and processing data and backend stuff and all. But like, I do that shit all day, every day for work, so I deal with HTML constantly. I don't deal with CSS as much because it's kind of like, well, the stuff is there, or components are made, but it does require, if you're making something brand new, it does sometimes require also making a couple of CSS files. Or we deal with SCSS, which is just a different kind of type, but it's the same fucking thing. I wouldn't get too bogged down in the logistics of it all in terms of, like, because if you start looking at what's out there, there's fucking a million different languages for a million different things, or variations, or modules, or wrappers around languages. But when what you're doing now, you pick it up quick, I reckon. And once you pick that up, then it'll probably be onto JavaScript to learn how to add scripts to that to make. That's where you'll have like flashy graphics or interactive forms or stuff where data can be taken in and it's sent to a backend, not just saved to a file. You'll start dealing with JavaScript and PHP for that kind of stuff. In all likelihood, if he has mentioned JavaScript and PHP, then the probably backend is probably PHP. Middleware might be some amalgamation of the both, and then you've probably got some embedded JavaScript in the HTML. But yeah, again, that's a guess, and that's a long way away. But yeah, you're most welcome, and don't be afraid to ask. Doesn't matter how basic a question is. If you can't figure it out, feel free to ask. I'll look when I'm back at a PC. I'll look and see. I know there's W3 Schools and there's a few other places as well, but W3 Schools is enough to get you started. Give a shit. HP books. There was a humble code, humble bundle book thing a while back, where it was PHP, and I bought the bundle, and it was basically teaching yourself PHP with building sites, with making games. You just loaded up DVD for the first time in months, and I'm 90% to blame. Only 90%, yeah. Also, I don't think I'm 90% to blame. I know I've been telling you a little bit about DVD, and I know I played DVD last week and streamed it, but I think it's more so D&D coming to DVD that has caused you to load it up. A little bit, yeah. Are you going to try the PTB, or are you just getting into... Because Vecna and showcasing you the new shop. Oh yeah, true, I did do all that, didn't I? Hey, it looks good. Also, while talking about showcasing the new shop, the reset happened for the week, so when you do log in and you get all your blood points and get everything else, go into the shop and you will have 150,000 blood points as a reward you can claim for free in the shop as well this week. So when you go into the shop, on the bottom right of the screen, there's like free gift. They're currently giving this week. It's 150,000 blood points they're giving. Can't be arsed with PTB, just looking. No harm, just looking. I've no doubt you have a fair whack of blood points to use at this stage as well, so no harm. I will also say, if you're thinking about getting back into DVD, right now is a great time to do it, because the event that's happening for the next week is giving triple the blood points. So there's a blood hunt on right now, and it's 3 times the amount of blood points. so it's fucking ideal time to be getting back. My guys playing some games last night, and I don't think I finished the match with less than 120,000 blood points. So, you know, play it for a couple of hours and you're gonna be level capped. You'll have 2 million blood points easily, especially if you have any of the old fucking cakes or party streamers or shit like that. And because I'd played it so much around last anniversary, I still have like 350 of the year 7 anniversary offerings for the cakes, so it's 107% blood points, and a lot of people do because they were giving it away quite heavily that time. So most people who are playing it a fair bit have a couple of hundred. So like I was in a match last night where every survivor brought a tiramisu, and we finished on, I think, at like 200,000 blood points at the end of the match. So yeah, you can make, and if you want to go down the route of killer, a quick, easy game for you would be to play Skull Merchant if you have her. Everybody, for the most part, not everybody, but there's a huge thing at the moment on Skull Merchant because the way her powers change. She can be, I mean, she was always somewhat difficult to play against at times, but they have this new thing now where you put out the drones, and the first time you interact with it, you hack the drone, so you temporarily disable it. You don't actually get rid of it completely. And then there's also a thing of if it gets a full power ability on the drone, or the drone fully charges up, I don't know how it's done, I just know this is the thing. When you hack the drone, you'll actually attach that trap to the back of your arm the way it used to be, but when that attaches to your arm, you're injured and broken. So she can injure people quite easily by doing fuck all, or just by using her power to charge up and activate drones. And as a result of that, quite a substantial amount of games, I've heard reports from people who are like fucking well known in DVD community for playing killer and shit like that, or who have good experience, it's their job to play it kind of shit. I've seen videos where they're talking about it as well, that on average at least 1 to 2 people are DCing per match in against the Skull Merchant. And I saw that yesterday or the day before, or maybe it might be, no, sorry, it was either yesterday or Friday. I went against the Skull Merchant, and as soon as we logged into the game, somebody DC'd when they realised it was Skull Merchant. And of course, with the new way of the game, if somebody DCs, it puts a bot in there. So if you end up getting 2 or 3 people DC on you as Skull Merchant, well, you're still playing the game because the bots are still there. And although the bots can be good loopers, the bots are also idiots for most stuff. So it's fucking easy blood points to farm for you. So that's another way if you wanted to play some killer. Try her. Dr. Skin on the Rift is actually cool as fuck. There's quite a few really nice skins. Some of which I've missed out on. Obviously I've missed out on like, I think 2 rifts or something, maybe more. I don't really care about that, to be honest, because half the time they're bringing them all back in anyway, so you're not really missing out. Oh, there's also a login reward at the moment as well. I think they're doing like couple of weekly login rewards, as in you log in anytime that week you get part of an outfit, you log in anytime next week you get another part of the outfit. If I'm remembering correctly, they're doing something like that. Plus blood point bonus for logging in every week as well. And their free gift, which this week is 150,000 blood points. So they're fucking throwing blood points at people currently, especially with the triple blood hunt. So it's a great week to not be at home and not be able to play it. Although I do have my Steam Deck, so maybe I might get a couple of games in bed at night, depending. I don't know how it plays in the Steam Deck. I'm curious to see how V-Rising plays on it as well. Seems like an ideal game. Shit, okay, you're gonna play a match to see how bad it goes. Let me know how you get on. I've no doubt you'll thoroughly enjoy it. There's the big fiddle. Anybody who doesn't remember, right there in the hill. And if you missed it, well, you missed it. I've passed it enough times that anybody who's watched must have. I'm also very aware the big fiddle in the hill. We had a discussion around this earlier, Snowy. It got a little obscene about farmers fiddling in a field. That's what the big fiddle meant. It's not true, but you know, it'd be funny if it was. Can I try it back a bit? You missed it. Oh shit. Right, are we back or are we gone? Still here? I don't know. Basically, still here. Okay, grand. Everything shut down on my phone. Briefly, it popped up to give me a heat warning. Oh, the phone is very hot because the sun is out and it's in my windscreen. It basically, yeah, it's stuttering a bit because it's very hot. I unplugged my phone to stop it charging. So I had it plugged in to charge, so I've now unplugged it so it's not charging, so at least that's a little less heat going to it. I also realised I have to do this, that it has closed down my maps. And there we are. Sake. Why is my map not overlaying? God damn it. Stuttering a bit is all okay, that's fine. I mean, I don't really need the map, but it's just handy for not having to massively pay attention to where I am. Let me see if I can get this to work again for me. It's not that there's a problem with it as a phone or as a streaming phone. It's just that it's a particularly hot day. Like, it's 19 degrees out right now. So my phone is in the windscreen with that heat on it and the sun beaming on it, so it's getting... Oh, inside the car is cool. I have the air conditioning on, so it's not hot in the car. might do is I might pull over and take the case off my phone. It is like a black rubber casing. We'll see what happens. For the moment it's alright. It's still going, so we're good. In fairness, there's a large portion of the back of my case that is see-through. I think it was also just the sun in, plus my, sorry, that's my hand, plus my phone being plugged in to charge. So you got the heat from charging as well as the heat from everything else. So I can just take it out because I'll be able to charge it when I get there. It's not a big deal. The battery will last. Out into the road anyway. Gotta love that. Right, let me see if I can get this thing back. Restart it. Get it. I don't know what the fuck is going on. It doesn't want to overlay properly. Well, we're in Roscommon now, so signal's gonna drop briefly. Hopefully only briefly. We will see. Not the kind of drops we have, but yeah, we're dropping frames, that's for sure. Right, so I'm guessing, hold on, I'm gonna pull over somewhere up here and I'm gonna have to take my phone off because it's at the minimizing everything on my screen again. So if you can hear me, I cannot see anything right now. I'll overtake this guy, but I will get back to it shortly. I just, yeah, gotta let the phone cool down a bit. It's gone back there again. Reset might be the answer. I just want to find a better place to stop. This is not the best place to stop right now. So we will continue on for the moment. Actually, you know what? Probably not a bad idea. We'll just over to the side here. Okay, let's try and sort this now. So you're just gonna see my hand covering the screen of it for a minute. Yeah, this is fucking roasting. Holy shit. Yeah, there's a fair bit of heat in that case as well. Pocket prevention. There's nothing covering it, but it thinks there is. So that is the case I had on it. As you can see, it's not that bad, but the black rubber as well. Like, this is fairly warm, so we'll take that off. But the phone itself is fucking roasting, and I do have battery warnings on it to say that the phone is roasting. So we're going to stop here for a minute. Case is off. Let it start to cool down a bit, and then we'll kick off again. Yeah, the battery warning seems to have gone away now, at least. I'll just hold it here. To the road and shit. Well, you can't really see much on that. It's cooling down a little bit, but not quite a lot. Still rather warm, so it's ridiculously warm. Like, it's now 20 degrees outside, and I'd say my phone is probably there. Yeah, my phone's probably fucking about 25 degrees. Sorry, disappeared to sort the work issue. It's all good, my girl. You're working. You gotta sort that out. That's the priority. We are stopped briefly because my phone is overheating because it's 20 degrees outside, and my phone, obviously a big metal object sitting in the fucking windscreen in a cradle, pulling in all the heat from the sun. So, you know, I got an overheating warning on the phone, and I just closed everything. But surprisingly, it closed everything, but it didn't stop streaming, which is weird. I thought it would have stopped the stream, but it is not allowing it's not allowing my overlays to pop on the screen properly either. So, like, normally my map would overlay over, and that is not happening currently. So that is a thing. It's still quite hot. It has cooled down significantly though. And the warning on the screen is gone. So that's definitely a bonus. We're gonna sit here anyway, and you can just enjoy the view and all the rattling as I move around the phone. Because, you know, why not? More cars. I'm just glad I have fucking air conditioning in this thing. I'd be boiling alive if I didn't. Fucking the cheek of this weather, deciding to be 20 degrees outside. Snowy, can you send me that bad weather back, please? You can keep this one. I don't mind. Right, that's significantly cooled. I think we're good. I don't like how much this is moving. You'll try, you're afraid it's here to stay. Yeah, maybe. Now I'm like, do I put the case back on or not? It has no protective case on it now. Which was this? You can't see anything anymore. Kind of works like a bit of a lens, doesn't it? No, not really. Right, let's continue and see how this goes. Will it let me bring up my map, or is it going to just completely fuck me on this? I mean, I'm mostly just driving straight anyway, the next hour and a half. It's not like I don't know my way, but I just like having it there. But it's not letting me, so we're gonna just go and see what happens. And if it does the warning again, I'll probably stop again Why not both? Well, it doesn't let me. It normally does let me do both, but because the battery overheated, it's pulled away the map, and it's not letting me see it now. Yeah, it's like it's stopping any background processes from working because of that. So it keeps dropping this as well. Thank you for the lurk. Like, it's only allowing me to have... Oh, why not have it go well and go bad? Yeah, true. We can do both things. It's funny because both are running simultaneously, but both do not show in the list of things running simultaneously. So it's like there's some kind of protection, I guess, when it overheats, where it'll only allow one process to run. Which I guess is a good thing. Right, let me just finish that. Stick that there. That's normally the view. I don't mind it being that. Let's see what happens. If this starts rattling around, then I'll take it out, put the case back on, because I don't want to be dealing with that shit. Getting much more shake or anything out of it, because I'm aware that fucking hell, that was silly. These cunts are just overtaken as I'm going. I can see a bit of wobble, but I don't know if it's coming across on the screen or not. If it is, I can do something about it, but if it's not, then it's all good. Not specifically, no. Okay, well, that's grand then. It might be just from my point of view, which is grand. Right, well, that was interesting. I keep forgetting about the heat. It's gone up again. It's now 21 degrees outside, for fuck's sake. It's a nice day and all, but goddamn, could you dial down the heat some? Just a little bit. Tell it, Snowy. Tell it to dial it down. It'll listen to you. No, it doesn't. Well, fuck it anyway. Just have it freezing all. How long is your driving? Yeah, exactly. No, I got that you meant as long. We read it that way and then went that way. No, you mean as long as you're driving. It doesn't have to be freezing, just, you know, not the fucking sun beaming in the windscreen. Got a case. See if they sell cases that have fans in them. Buy a case that has a fucking cooler embedded into it. It'd be fucking funny. First match, someone brought meat plant and killer tunnels. Lovely. Lovely. Classic DVD. That's, look, the way I approached the DVD when I was playing it on Friday was, If I get tunneled, I get tunneled. If I get camped, I get camped. Fuck it. I'll do what I can. I'll get as many blood points as I can and try not rage about it. And did I rage about it? Maybe a little, but not as badly as I would have before. So it wasn't too bad then. But also, but I also just reminded myself that it's a blood hunt, so you're gonna get cunts doing that because they want the hook stages, because they want to get all the blood points. Equally as much, I had a Billy who tunneled me off hook because I ran him a bit. So he was a little unsure and he was trying to play mind games to try and get me to jump certain ways, and I kept kind of turning and he'd miss me with his chainsaw. And I think he got a bit pissed off then, so when he finally got me, he got me into an area where I had nothing to use and downed me and got me on the hook. As soon as I came off hook, he was straight back on me. But then that same guy ended up farming with us. He got everybody, basically he killed one person, and then the three of us got to 2 hook stages, and then we all got out. So I was like, okay, well, I still got lots of blood points out of that. So sometimes you can still make something out of it. Expect nothing less from it, therefore you're not disappointed. Exactly, that's the way to look at it. If you go in expecting that this behaviour is going to happen, then when it happens, it's not going to be too bad, and when it doesn't, it's a fucking massive bonus. Semiconductor cooling, secured compact Samsung. I'm guessing that's a case with a cooling fan of some kind in it. I obviously cannot click a car mount. Alright. Well, it specifies Samsung, but I'm guessing it works with many. It blocks the camera. Yeah, that wouldn't work then. Yeah, I don't use a Samsung phone either. I'm using OnePlus. However, I get what you're saying. If it exists for one, it's probably going to exist for many as well. So that's the major bonus there. Let me back out there. Let me check this here. This is exactly where I thought I was, so you're good with that. Oh, damn it. Oh, we got the green light. Some kind of road work. Oh yeah, I forgot this. When I get close to Mayo as well, there's going to be quite a lot of road works going on there. It was last time I was there, and I don't think they're going to have changed because it wasn't that long ago. So we'll probably have it again, but sure, tease with the tease. I like this little village as well. It's always chilled and looks cool. Lots of little shops, brightly coloured houses. It's nice. Well, they don't have their work gear stall that they normally have there out. Normally they're selling high-vis and work jackets and shit. Chelsea, you going back into a second game? And if so, let me know how that one goes for you. Hopefully you're going back into a second game. Fingers crossed that hasn't bothered you that much. All those blood points, get yourself back into it all. When you get back into it, start swiffing. I'm definitely starting to get back into it. I'm getting the bug for DVD again. And they're making some very nice changes. bringing in cross progression a bit as well, making more and more improvements, and they've a new limited time, but I'm gonna join Esther and Faye for a Swift match, see how it goes. Oh nice, I did do it, I'm playing it now as well. Excellent, enjoy yourself. They are also bringing in a new game mode sometime this year. It's only going to be for a limited time, but I don't know if you saw it, they're bringing in a 2 versus 8. So you'll have 2 killers versus 8 survivors. They haven't given full logistics on exactly how it's going to work, but it's sure as fuck going to be interesting. Going to be pure chaos as well. Going to have to modify the completion status to some other thing rather than just purely be sit on gens for X amount of time. It will be pure chaos. It will be a lot of fun though, I'd say. It'll be interesting. Like that, all the survivors were tiny. So he basically just ran around, and if he got you, he just stood on you and you were dead. Killers as a team, though, are potentially murdering each other. No, as a team. So 2 killers versus 8 survivors. So you'll be working together, which will be pretty interesting. Obviously it'll be great if you can do it with like survivor friends and you have 2 killers going in on comms. That'll be so much fun, because that's the way it works on how popular TCM was. It's not as popular as it should be, I don't think, anyway. I think it should be a lot more popular, but it's not. But TCM is exactly it. But TCM, you don't have to complete 5 gens. You can play solo and easily get out just as you. It's not that difficult. You just gotta avoid the killers. And also as a killer with comms, it's fucking so much better if you. And there are inbuilt comms into the game for killers who are all on comms. It's fucking destroyed. It's gone so well. Because you can each basically take a section and pay attention to that section and then tell others when you've left that section. So it can be pretty fucking good that way. Why is this guy driving so slow? Road for 55 kilometers, so I'm good. Right turn. How's your day going, Flynn? How you getting on? They also announced the other thing with DVD, like the anniversary event is coming up soon as well, which is going to be even more blood points. But they announced finally, which I'm surprised that hasn't happened, and they haven't confirmed it is going to happen, but I'd be very, very surprised. But they did announce that there's going to be a Castlevania DLC. So there's going to be a Castlevania related killer survivor. And if you can, well, I'm glad you're off work. that's a big plus. Hopefully you're doing lots of fun shit to chill and have downtime. And then yeah, like you're saying, you're already saying you're doing the right shit. You're chilling out and dealing with the cause in between. Hopefully, see, something like that always makes me kind of be. It's a double-edged thing in that, like, I hope the stress fucks off pretty quickly, and you can be rid of it ASAP and feeling better. But I don't hope the being signed off work part finishes quickly for you. If you get me, that's where the double-edged part comes in. Like, I hope you can get as long as you possibly can off work. However, that would also mean that you're still stressed. So, you know, I don't hope that. Kids being an absolute mess for weeks. You haven't had the mental or physical energy to deal with it. Just adds to the stress. So you blitzed it this morning. Oh, fucking fantastic. Well, I'm glad to hear that's one less thing on your plate. You're 83 kilometers from Ballina. You'll be there before you know it. Yeah, I get that though. I know how it gets when you let shit get on top of you and then suddenly you look and it's a fucking mountain instead of a small amount. One room down, many more. Yeah, exactly. But hey, look, it's one room down. That's the main thing. And even if it wasn't a full, even if all it was do bits and pieces, slowly but surely you're getting there. Like, that's all that matters. As long as it's going in the right direction. How long it takes to get there, who gives a fuck? Your daughter's room is going to take a few weeks. Are you remodeling your daughter's room, or is it just there's a lot of shit in there that needs fixing? Storage kind of stuff. It's just a disaster in there, alright. Oh shit. Enjoy being a kid. You don't have to really give a fuck. Although I say that and I fucking do that at times as an adult. Learning difficulties. Her idea of tidying is throwing everything in a huge pile in one corner. Don't even know what's under there. Fucking hell. Hey, at least it's in a pile in the corner, you know, and not everything is everywhere. Although it could also be both. I'm very aware of that. It's the calm and the chaos, I guess. Sounds like working as intended, yeah. Like, hey, I know where shit is in that big pile. Leave it, it's grand. Expect the family of dwarves. You never know. My sister, she's hilarious for that. My sister's a neat freak in terms of, like, if anything is left out for X amount of time, she has to put that shit away. And I remember as kids, sometimes we'd have shit anywhere and everywhere, but it'd be like, well, I know where it is. It's left out on that table in that place, or it's left out on the desk there. So yeah, it's not in its place, but I know where it is, and it's left there, and I know where I can find it. And then you'd go there and it'd be gone. You'd be like, what the fuck happened? Like, ask your sister. And then obviously we just stopped leaving shit out of its place. But always been the type to hyper fixate on things anyway. Like, I remember when we were kids, we had this old clock in the sitting room, and you could audibly hear the ticking of the clock if you focused on it. But of course, like any anyone, we didn't really focus on it. There's tons of other sounds around. The to focus on, you just drown it out. But if she was in the room, she had to take it and put it outside into the hallway, because she would hyper fixate on that ticking, and all she would hear would be that ticking, and it would drive her demented. Which then led to some fun, interesting, random shit that we do to torment her as kids, because you know she'll hyper fixate on a noise. You make that noise happen, because you know you're a younger brother. You gotta be a bollocks. That's how it works. Yeah, that's what you gotta do as kids. Look, she was the oldest with 4 brothers. It was gonna happen. Nobody can give her shit now because she grew up with 4 brothers. So we gave her all the shit she would ever take. But also she wasn't the youngest, so we didn't have that. Like she's the oldest out of us. So that's how it works. I mean, you're not gonna beat up on your brothers and not include your sister. That's just mean, you know. She's got to be included in getting a whooping as well. Never in that sense though, you know. I mean, throwing a cushion at each other and shit like that, you know. Not actually beating up on each other. We were not violent children. We were just inclusive. We were having a fucking cushion fight or throwing shit at each other, taking the piss and just having a laugh, you know. Yep. Everyone gets included. But don't get me wrong, she'd fucking give as good as she got. And then some. So there's never an issue there. Plus, it's not like we're all identical in age, so it wasn't all at once, you know. Like she's 13 years older than me, I think. Then I have a brother who's 10 years older than me, and a brother who's 6 years older than me. And then I have a brother who is a year and a half younger than me. So age ranges vary. So she would have already been a fucking teenager or preteen when we were born. Me and my younger brother. So what I mean, at those stages she'd be fucking babysitting us, for fuck's sake. Starting to cool down a bit. It's 19 degrees out now instead of 21. Still, the aircon is on in the car because fuck that. I'm not having that on. We're keeping that going the whole time. At least full tank of petrol, so if we need to use some of it, getting a bit more cloudy. Yeah, it's because we're getting close to Mayo. We've gone from Midlands to we're starting to go towards the west. Looks like descending backwards. Yeah, exactly. Well, Mayo will definitely be cloudy and raining and shit, I'd say. There's that's how it is usually. No, not always, but you know. Usually when bad weather comes in, hits the west first and travels east. It's only occasional it'll go east to west. That was weird. And back, yeah. I noticed for some reason it just completely disconnected and then reconnected. I don't know why, because I didn't lose signal. I didn't have any more battery warnings or any of that shit. I'm curious if the stream completely went down or just stuttered. So that's usually it hasn't quite disconnected, but we've lost. So yeah, so then we shouldn't have the Streamlabs because it didn't actually restart the full stream. That's grand. That works. And we have reached French Park. And we slow the fuck down. Slow the fuck down again. We got more roadworks going on. Oh no, he didn't. He was just letting people pass. Never mind. Probably felt bad for running that red light earlier. All the local elections coming up. Everybody getting their campaign posters out. yeah, I'll have to think of a few other things like the hello and the cozy that I can do just for some fun. I had some ideas, but I don't think they'll pan out because I need to be able to rotoscope and I can't. So the idea I had, and honestly I don't want to get into too many game specific ones. We'll see. Helldivers. I know they released the new War Bond. I haven't gone back to it much. I played a little bit here and there, but I do need to get back in a bit and have a look, or certainly log on and get my free medals. I might bite the bullet, and because I think I have like 400 odd super credits. Not finishing the current major order again. Oh, we got the knight on the left here, the silver. Shame there. If you didn't, well then you didn't. When you say not finishing the current major order again, you mean as a whole people didn't, or as in you don't want to? I think as well part of it is, as much as the whole Sony debacle caused people to lose their shit with the game, and then they recanted and people came back, I think it left a bad taste in a few mouths over that as well. And people who were hammering kind of went, yeah, well, fuck it, I'm sticking with this other game for a bit now. So I think it's had a bit of that as well. It certainly doesn't help things. Oh, as a whole, okay. I get ya. Shortly and entering Mayo. 15 minutes left. Get just under 414 million kill. Oh, was it another kill X billion amount determinants, or was this it completed in like 18 hours or 24 hours or something like that? So yeah, then that's definitely showing, that's a sign that 2 billion automatons. Alright, well that's a bit different. Not as many people like playing the automatons. 4 or 5 days to do it and failed. Wait, hold on, I thought the Terminate one completed very, very quickly. Am I misremembering? was under the impression the Terminal 2 billion was done in like 18 to 24 hours or something like that. Oh, last one went super fast. Okay, yeah, so this one has had... Oh, right, this one was 4 or 5 days. Yeah. That's failing, okay. Yeah, I think that's definitely a sign that, like... I'd say if you look at the active players between all... Usually it was probably 200,000 between PlayStation and PC. And I think... you'll probably see a significant drop, like 200 to 250,000 people. But there is also a big part of that is absolutely the fact that quite a lot of people dislike doing the automaton stuff, because there's an obvious difficulty increase. Going from the Terminals are a piece of piss compared to the automatons. Seen an update somewhere that kill counter was broken, they fixed it. The counter would go lost. Right. So they didn't like how quickly it was complete and modified it, and now it's not quite completing correctly. I get you. Well, hopefully they see it after this one and bring the change back. So obviously people want to complete them, but if they're going to do that, what's the fucking point? Oh, we've dropped another degree as well. We're now 18. We don't have to deal with 21 degree weather anymore. Drop another 5, that'd be great. I haven't really looked at what they've updated. I haven't even seen. I saw they released the latest war bond and it had some kind of like frozen ice kind of vibe to it. But I haven't seen what weapons they released with it, or heard anything significantly good about the weapons in it. Which is odd, because the last bond they brought out, people were straight on top of the weapons talking about them. Maybe it's just because I haven't really been looking, but I just kept coming across it anyway. Now that I've said that, watch me open my phone and immediately get videos on Helldiver's latest war bond. I know it's gonna happen. Right, so we got another 18 kilometers till we turn. Yes, my phone has definitely cooled down now, because my thing is back. Just stick to the right side, that'd be great. Okay, that side it is. Fucking hell, you're not even bothering with them. Just get the free community medals, yeah. True. Boy, what was today's update? Oh, you're not bothering with the game at all, right? Hey, Kill, how you doing, dude? Acknowledge that spawn rates were fucked, negatively impacting gameplay. Oh, right. Shit. I didn't think the spawn rates were that bad, to be honest. After saying over and over ships working as intended, right. I mean, no, there were certain missions at certain times you'd load into and you fucking bombarded with everything, so I get it. Some missions felt impossible, others felt fine. Doing okay, just popping in to say hi. Excellent, glad to hear it. I'll be another hour, I think, till I'm in Mayo. Well, till I'm at Ennisco. So I will be popping to say hello at some stage today. Hopefully. Just a quick summary of the post though, right? Yeah, I get you. Oh yeah, no, I know there's going to be much more detailed shit to go down with that, but we'll see, fingers crossed. They are, that's the one thing about Arrowhead, is they are very perceptive and accepting of the community's point of view, so it's shit that they came out and said, hey, all that stuff we told you was working as intended. Actually, no, it's not, but as long as they do something about it and fix it, shouldn't be a big issue. Or at least hopefully it won't be a big issue. We'll see what happens. Mayo, which brand? The Irish brand, Paladol. As in the county Mayo. They have had the worst community managers before. Yeah, they have had some dodgy ones. At least your man, it was a Spitz, I think, was the Discord manager, or for the shit he said during the whole Sony debacle, and thanked the community for holding him accountable for his shit. Like, he dealt with that properly, so that was good. Which Mayo? Yeah, that's the kind of Mayo we're going for. The Mayo from a witch's teeth. For fuck's sake. That's gone wrong. Too far. How's your day going, Paladol? Garlic Mayo, yeah, that kind of. So made from the void eggs, that's the one. Not at all, that's the one. Day's been going fine. Good, glad to hear it. I loved I checked on my phone. My phone overheated because it was sitting in the dash with the case on. It's 20 to 21 degree weather, so the sun beaming in, overheating my phone. So it stopped giving me my maps overlay, which it's giving me back, and it doesn't matter anyway. It's pretty, I know the way, I know where I'm going. I don't really need it, I just like to have it. But when I checked the map then, I was like, okay, so let me confirm, because I've been gabbing on and not really paying attention to where I was. I just want to have a quick look at it. And it basically said, right, follow this road for 55 kilometers, and in 55 kilometers, turn right. Which I like to see. It's like, yeah, that works. Which is coming up in another 8.5. Shortly. When you drive, you have Google Maps on almost all the time. Yeah, I do as well usually. It depends on the distance I'm driving and where I'm driving. If it's long distance, I'll always have it on. If for no other reason, it's not even like I don't know where I'm going. I do, and obviously I can read the road signs and shit. But it's good to have any potential traffic information. Or if there's any kind of like some accident happens up ahead and it'll auto divert you and shit like that. It's good for that. I love it for that. And even if I know where I'm going, just purely for traffic information, if I'm on a long journey, I'll always put maps on. Just because there's the potential that something could be happening up ahead and I don't know, but it will. Reports will have come through, so you get notified. Makes it so much easier. Saying we can sort of warn you. Exactly, yeah. I've had it happen many times. Or bad traffic, and you get that pop up of there's a shorter route, it'll save you 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever. Do you want to take this? I'm like, yep, fucking right I do, because it's obviously getting live traffic feeds, so it knows, hey, there's not much traffic on that road now, send them that way, and fucking happy days. Which for this journey is not something I really have to worry about. It's not exactly like you deal with a lot of traffic on this journey. But I just find you can kind of familiar routes you usually use for speed. Alright. Now for a route like this, I'd use it purely as a little example. Going out and I'm just like, well, I'm focusing on the car ahead of me to make sure I'm keeping proper distance from that car. But otherwise don't really care about the surroundings as much. Then I could potentially miss that turn if I didn't have some kind of warning, because I'm not really paying attention. Hey Nymphy, how are you doing, my dear? GPS speed is more accurate than car speed. Yes, there is also that. GPS speed usually is more accurate. So just using it as a speedometer is fucking handy in that. How's your day going, Nymphy? What you been up to? Finally speak. Fantastic. Glad to hear it. That's gotta be a massive fucking wait. Still have a list, but you know, well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That will go away as everything heals up more. And if it doesn't, well, it doesn't. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with this. I can't wait to have a steak. Oh yeah, that'll be nice. You have to make sure you get it done right then. Go somewhere nice for it. Or just fucking make sure it's done properly with everything you want. All the trimmings and all that jazz, and just fucking enjoy the shit out of it. I haven't had an actual steak in ages, actually, now that I think about it. Normally when I'm eating beef, I'll just buy burgers or buy mince and make something out of it. I've bought a steak in a little while. Medium rare baked potato, absolutely. Just missing the sandwich. It's no, you're not missing anything. The steak sandwich just got the shit these days. It's not worth having. The last time I was in Bar Square, I had a burger. I didn't go near the steak sandwich. It's not worth having. Standards have dropped, unfortunately. I don't know why it's telling me to take this route. I've done this last time, but I'm going to take it anyway, because fuck it, why not? basically bringing me to the same road anyway, and it gets me to the shade, so I'm going to take it. It's only a few kilometers up the road that I would have taken the other turn anyway, so which is all good. Doesn't have to be bar square. Yeah, well, it shouldn't be because it's disappointing now. But yeah, the ones they used to do were phenomenal. So there's that. But a good steak sandwich, yeah, no, I get what you're saying though. You can get a really nice steak sandwich, it's fucking delicious. The only problem I find with steak sandwiches is that they usually tend to use like minute steak or just a thinner cut of steak, so that you can't really get a good medium. It's green, so green. It is indeed, very much so. Have you had one of the good ones? Exactly, Snowy. You experienced it at its hype during its good times before the disappointment rolled around. One of the things we're known for in Linfield. Lots of greenery. And there is lots of it at that. Something I always feel so weird. How do you drive a stick? Yeah, everybody drives manual cars here. It's rarer to have somebody driving an automatic over this side. Certainly in Ireland anyway. Like, I only know one person, actually no, sorry, I tell a lie, I know maybe 2 or 3 people who drive automatics. I only know one person who drives a petrol automatic. The others are driving electric cars, and that's why they're automatic. But here, yeah, manual is, I feel weird if I'm driving and it's not a manual. I've only ever had that when I was in Canada. I had an automatic, and that was fine because obviously other side of the road and all that. But if I'm at home, I couldn't drive an automatic. It feels fucking too weird to me. Need to make some new pictures. Yes, you do, Snowy. Absolutely. Get your ass back over here. You wish someone taught you to drive stick. We kept stalling and they booted you back into the house. Oh, Jesus. I mean, that's natural when you start learning to drive. It's just a natural thing that you'll stall it a few times. But it becomes second nature before long. And it is, yeah, here we just, let's say 95% of people drive manual cars. There'd be a very, very small percentage that would choose to drive an automatic. At least at the lake in Keene Bay, yeah, that'll be lovely. I haven't been to Keene Bay in quite a while. It's always gorgeous out there though. What made you realise? Is it because you heard the fucking sudden change or something there as I was driving? That you realised I'm in a manual? Gotta go train someone. No worries, Niffy. Have a good one. Hopefully the training goes well. Talk to you later. Hopefully you have that steak before you know it. I'd start driving on high revs because I hadn't changed gears, something stupid like that. more shade here as well, which is nice, especially for the drive, as that is going to be much more than anything else. A lovely smooth road. And how we just went onto a new road there, huh? Sudden change in sound. God, I remember when they were driving here when they were building this. This was a pain in the arse to get through. Constant stops. It's very nice now though. Smooth operator, yeah. Smooth operator. Why not? That's gonna just randomly pop into my fucking head later now, Snowy. I know it already. I'll be doing something later and that's just gonna jump in. Thanks for that. Oh, we're off the smooth road. No, it's not too bad here either. Success! Absolutely. I can't say shit. I've done that to Caustic so many times, where I've sent them some song to listen to, or introduced them to some new thing, and he's just being like, motherfucker. The worst, I think the worst was when I think it's still, it'll probably always remain the worst, was Welcome to the Internet, the Bob Burnham skit song. When I introduced them into that lasted weeks. Couldn't get that out of his head for weeks. He still courses me over that one. But as I say, hey, just introducing you to new shit. It's not a bad thing. It's always a good thing. What are you talking about? Like that to your mates, what's the point? You gotta fuck with them a little. It's only right. And now I kind of done it to myself as well, because I mentioned Welcome to the Internet and it started playing in my head. So I kind of fucked myself there as well a little. But ah well. The downside, the catchy shit, huh? It's like, oh, it's an earworm for them. It's like, oh shit, it's an earworm for me as well. Oh! Hello, traffic lights and roadworks. You hope you don't know it and you never will. Don't never say never, Snowy. Never say never. One of these days. You could end up having movie night where the movie night is watching inside, and then you'll be introduced to it. Speaking of which, I actually have to get the next poll up and running for that. See what we end up watching. No, not happening. See, I knew as soon as I said that, well, this could happen, you'd be like resistant to the idea of it being a possibility. Just so you can stand firm on the, well, I've never heard it. Fuck's sakes now, fuck's sake. Only another 3.5 kilometers till we can take a turn. In fairness, we're not far off now. Actually, that just made me think. I saw a video the other day about, apparently in the show Peaky Blinders, there's a line where a farmer's talking about his horses having worms. The goldfish will eat all the fly eggs and it'll stop that happening. And some farmer decided to test that theory out, and they had a massive water trough for horses. Or they might not have even been a farm, they were basically on a ranch or whatever, and they tried it out, and there was a lot of algae and a lot of shit in the water. They put a load of goldfish in, and after like 2 days the water was nearly crystal clear that was coming out of the trough, because they ate everything in the water. That's fucking fascinating to see. I was like, oh shit, okay, so they're taking some meaning out of that that's actually correct. It's kind of cool to see. It's interesting when, and I mean, it makes sense. It's like if you have I think oysters in water. If you get a tank of water and you have like oysters in it, and there's another tank that doesn't, the one that has them, they'll clean out all the water because they're eating all the algae and all the shit that's gonna cause all of that to happen. Whereas all that stuff, all the microorganisms and all the algae and all the everything can grow in something that doesn't have anything consuming it. So it does make sense. It's just interesting that, like, it's shit you don't really think about sometimes. That's why you don't overfish any lakes or rivers. Because then you let shit go wild. Same principle of not over hunting areas as well, really. If you get rid of a predator from an area, well then what was being preyed upon is going to go wild because it's no longer being culled. That's the reason we have in Phoenix Park in Dublin, there's a load of wild deer that live there all the time, year round. Like, they're born there, they live there. It's a huge park, and they have acres and acres to run around and live in. But once a year, the park wardens will go around and do a cull, because there's nothing to stop the deer just multiplying and multiplying and multiplying. The birth rate outgrows any kind of death rate because there's nothing to hunt them. So they're culled well, I don't know if it's once a year or once every few years there's a cull done, but the park wardens do go around and cull a certain amount. Plus side, everyone gets a lot of venison that time. And they will do that, they will. It's not like they'll just cull them and not use them then. Any deer that are taken out will be used and consumed. So, you know, it's all good. The good meats, yeah, exactly. Thinking now I might stop in Ballina and pop to a shop, pick up a few bits, and see if anybody needs any while I'm there. Save some journeys later. Ready, so you'll probably finish before we're back. No worries, dude. Have a good time. Most certainly will. Thank you for hanging. Thank you for the chats. Always appreciate it. Enjoy your food, and I will talk to you later. No doubt. I somehow managed to disable my map accidentally, which is fun. I mean, not that it makes a difference, I know where I am anyway, but still I like to have it. So that's what I'm fucking sunshine, 20-degree weather, 21-degree weather, piss and rain. Even though that's happening, it's still 17 degrees out. So it's not like it's cold while it's raining. Still gonna have warm rain. Which I feel is like a slap in the face. The whole point is to cools everything down. Not being warm. Not right. And there were a few dead bugs on there, as you may have noticed. They just weren't turbulence. You could make it so. Have you played much Helldivers since the new Warbond came out, Palo? And if so, have you used any of the new weapons? And if so, how are they? I only logged people currently. I'm not really bothered. Well, yeah, at least all that rain is good for clearing the windscreen. The contrast of the dark clouds and then suddenly breaks into open blue sky again. The impact napalm grenade could be nice. If only kill bugs as fast as they kill us. That's really the issue with most things though, isn't it? Like, yeah, that's good. You can kill yourself super quick with it. But like, it'd be way better if you could take out the bugs and the automatons with it that quick. Sure, look, it's all part of the fun of that game. I think once you get to the level where you realise, oh wait, yeah, just being killed in that game is part of the game, then it becomes a lot more fun. Jesus Christ, dude, can you calm down on the calming down? We're in a 60 and he's doing 40. What's going on? Pick it up a little. It's a bit of an odd one. Yeah, I'll have to have a look at that soon. There's no hurry, Annie. That's the one thing I really do like about the war bonds, the fact that they just don't go away. So it's like, well, you don't really have to play catch up as such. Just take what you want out of each one. Like, I don't think I've fully completed any of them. I've gotten all the weapons and the armor out of them and the super credits, and then it's like, well, I mean, I don't care about the poses and the banners and shit. If I had this spare and I had to use it because I was capped, I'd buy it, but otherwise, fuck it, I don't care. There's another bond coming along, you can keep those medals for us, going out and be looking. And that's usually the case, although I think now if I log on, because I haven't logged on in a week or so, I'm probably going to cap my medals because I think I finished know if it was at 150 or 200. There's probably been a major order completed since I've been on. I'll have to look at that actually. Submachine gun is mediocre. Didn't try the rest yet since you're usually not a full party as well. I talked about the patrols being broken and spawning, yeah. You'd also noticed a lot. Yeah, I hadn't really noticed. I hadn't been playing as much lately, so I hadn't seen as much of that, but the last two major orders failed. Yeah, Snowly was saying that earlier as well. That probably because of those bugs with people not being able to kill as much or complete as much because shit's just going wrong. Let me quickly get in here and that going. Well, probably ideally I should take this turn. Well, there's a lot of people taking this turn, so I'm gonna have to wait. Shit. Wasn't thinking of that. Fucking hell. So is that coach coming over in? If I can get out in time. Fucking take that as well. We shall go this route. And pop to the shop. Because fuck it, why not? So I am currently missing anything anybody is saying, but I will be back to that screen very briefly. I just need to take a bit of a detour. So I need to keep the map up for that, to be fully aware of the detour I'm taking, because I don't know these roads as well. I've been on them plenty, but you know. Sudden drop in temperature. It's now down to 15. I like it. I like it. That's what I prefer to see when it's 21 shit. Traffic is growth times off. It's half forward, so kids will be getting off school as well. It's going to cause some of it. Yep, that's definitely the case. Change this up a bit, I think. Let's push on ahead there. I'm gonna get down here. What the fuck? Gotta love it. Nobody's going to be letting me out. out, I think. Let's see what way to work in this. Yeah, everyone's just pushing on. Except this lad, thank you. He is being a sound one. This is where we're looking to hop in and get to the shop. Apparently there's even a queue to get in here. Oh, because somebody went in. Ah, they're getting into the back of their house. Okay. That's what it is. That makes sense. Jesus, at least this car park is empty. So we're sorted for that. It's not going to be busy. Right. On that note, thank you everybody for hanging out. Thank you to those who chatted. Thank you to those who looked. Always appreciated. It always makes the drive much quicker. I would try and do some kind of raid, but I don't think it'll work. Actually, let me try something. Let's see if it will or not, because it's running thing simultaneously. So I open up my Twitch app. Will it let me do that? Stream manager. Oh shit. I now got notifications on what's where. Thank you, Paladol, for the sub. Much appreciated. Oh fuck, we can. Right, we're gonna go. Who's on? We can raid from this, so we're gonna go raid Thompson, because fuck it. It's not something I get to do often. Let's go do that. So thank you all again for hanging out. Much appreciated. Enjoy the rest of your evenings. I will be back, I don't know when. I'll let you know. And let's go say hello. I don't know if this thing is... Oh, it's raiding in 75 seconds, so let's just do it now. I think it's going to do that automatically. And get rid of that. Yeah, it definitely, PSN thing definitely reduced it, absolutely. Yeah, I'll catch you later, lads. Let's go say hello, Thompson. I'm going to push this now. Catch you later. Oh no, shit, why is it trying to cancel the raid? I want to continue the raid. I want to do it now. I guess I have to wait 40 seconds. It's not going to do it automatically for me. So we don't get to push on for some reason. It's weird. You would think it would let me just push it and go straight away, but it's doing a countdown. The only thing I can do is cancel it, so you gotta wait another 20 seconds. Gotta love technology, yeah. In fairness, it's the mobile version, you know, the fact that it even allows it. You know, look around at the littles and shit. The fact that it even allows it is, you know, is good in and of itself. 3 seconds, 2, 1, see you later.